How many of you are Democrats? Let me see. How many Republicans? How many FBI? And let me make a point. The conversation here is a loaded conversation. It's about climate, and democracy, and faith. And so the rule of thumb here is that this is not political. And if you think democracy is political, democracy are the rules of the game that allow us to keep a conversation going. Conversation never ends. And between liberal and conservative, it's going to go back and forth on that continuum, but it'll shift. The important point is to keep the conversation going. And if you think of a football game, how many football fans do we have here? We're all football fans. It's like our politics have become a little bit like a football game with no rules and no referees. And teams show up with hand grenades and Uzis. That's not football. That's not a conversation. That's a war. And so this is not an issue about right or left. It's about past and future. The same is true on issues of climate change. It's gotten very loaded. We knew enough years back when I worked for Jimmy Carter on his transition team. We knew enough a long time ago to do a lot better than we've done on climate issues. We didn't do it. 48 years since he left the governor's office, the conversation has, you didn't want me to see that. The conversation has eroded. It is about science. Climate change is simply about the rules that govern the atmosphere. That's chemistry and that's physics. If somebody says to you, I don't believe in the laws of gravity, there's a real simple test for that. Come to the top of the building with me, you jump first. See how it works. This is about science and so forth. Now, that's just for starters. I want to make 5 points and then sit down. First of all, we're here because of a global climate emergency. Let me make no mistake. This we've known for a long time. We've ignored the warnings for a half century. We've had good warnings and they've gotten more and more precise over time. It's like looking at a picture and the pixels get clearer and clearer. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. So we're about 1.5 degrees centigrade, not Fahrenheit, centigrade, warmer than we were at, say, 1880. And it varies a good bit. Atlanta is at least 2 or 3 degrees centigrade warmer than it was when I lived here. So the heat is on. And that changes everything. So it changes how we think. We're different people at 100 degrees than we are at 75 degrees. So you turn the heat up, everything changes. We behave differently. Steel and bridges behave differently. It changes everything we do. So we're here because of the climate emergency, and I have a sneaking suspicion that prayer by Bishop Wright and Andy Barnett, my former student, had something to do with the weather, because this simply underscores the point of why we're here. This storm, if not caused by, was amplified by climate change. It's warmer. We're here, secondly, to meet a crisis of democracy. You all are in crosshairs in Georgia. As a battleground state, you're the crosshairs of a major crisis in how we do the public business. And so if we do the public business, if we the people are to do that public business democratically, then that's one set of rules. If we're to slide over into autocracy or fascism or worse, that's a different set of rules. That's where you and I don't belong. The point is, and what's at stake is how we're governed and by whom and to what purposes. That's what's at stake in this election, make no mistake. Now, third is we're here as people of faith, called to what's called prophetic imagination. To imagine what isn't but should be. A world that is democratic, fair, decent, prosperous, as best we can make that. We're here to create a different world, and that involves having to see that world. Fourth, we're here in Atlanta because you all have made this a special place. I feel good about saying the word you all. That's a very handy word. I don't say it north of the basin. You don't talk about you all up in Ohio, where I'm from. But down here it's okay. It's a really good word that describes all of us together. We're here because you made this place a very special place. And there are many of you in this room that have participated now. I'm not going to list names. But you made Atlanta a place where good ideas start. Never perfect, never easy, but this is where they start. And you've got a large microphone here at CNN, you're a place that matters. And so if ideas come from this gathering, and they will, if ideas come from this gathering, then that amplifies, and is amplified by the fact that it comes from Atlanta. You matter. And finally, we're here to act. And we're here not to have a nice morning or evening or afternoon conversation. We're here to do something. So this gathering, our time together, is going to be judged by what comes from this meeting. And so we're not here to entertain, we're not here to pass the time. We're here to begin to do something that is important. That this conjunction of democracy, the crisis of democracy, the crisis in climate, is eventually a crisis of spirit. There could not be a more appropriate place to have a meeting. We're here because it matters. We're here to change our pronouns from I and me and mine to we, ours, and us. And that us includes future generations, other species, it includes all of us. So that's why we're here. Now, we're here also against the odds. And the great writer, David once said, if you could imagine anything, and think you can do it, begin it. For boldness has genius and magic and power. We're here for that. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for braving the climate. And good to see you. This is going to be a great day.